So I'm currently reading the Acts of the Apostles right now, and one thing that's really standing out to me this time around, I've noticed it before, but there's certain times things stand out to you. And right now, it's really standing out to me the fact that they were called out to go to the Gentiles. There's a high percentage of us who wouldn't be able to be Christians if it wasn't for the fact that God told them, I want you to go out and I want you to go preach to the Gentiles. I want you to go to those people. Yes, still, you have throughout the whole Acts of the Apostles, it's still big focuses on them going to the synagogues and going to God's chosen people. There's also this big push towards go to the lost sheep, go to those people, go to the Greeks, the Romans. You have all these beautiful stories throughout the Acts of the Apostles of these people like you and I who were not born into God's chosen people, who were not born into the one nation. In a special way, God focuses in the Acts of the Apostles of, I see no one as unclean. Everyone is welcomed. Really, if you listen to the Acts of the Apostles, it's talking about how slaves are equal to their masters when it comes to the faith. Women are equals to men when it comes to the faith. Children are, when it comes to the faith, are equal with their parents. Not that they don't have to obey their parents, not that all of them, but we are all children of God. As the famous saying goes, God does not have grandchildren. Children are God's children too. They're equal with everyone else. Black people are equal with white people. Everyone is equal in God's eyes. And the whole Acts of the Apostles is just over and over again talking about this and talking about how you don't need to be circumcised, you don't need to be of one race, you have to turn to God. He died for all of us. And the thing about it that really stands out is the fact that when Jesus came to die on the cross, he didn't come to die on the cross for the Jewish people, right? Yes, those were his chosen people. When he died on the cross, he died for the whole world. He died for everyone. And I'm not saying this as an anti-Semitic thing. I want to make that very clear. But I just want to encourage you guys to understand the importance, the beauty of the fact that you were grafted onto this tree. Even if you were not of the line of Abraham, you were grafted onto the tree. When Jesus came down, his mind from the very beginning, he was thinking of you. He was thinking of the people outside of the Israelites. And when he gave the keys to Peter, he did not give it to him in the middle of Jerusalem. He gave it to him at a pagan worship site. From that very point, he was saying, guess what? This has less to do with just the people of Israel. This has more to do with everyone in the world. Gather everyone. Be fishers of men. Do not be fishers of one nationality. Do not be fishers of one group of people. It's of everyone. And the beauty of then anyone can turn to Christ. Anyone can become a Christian. You don't have to be from a certain nation. And I say this now because it has less to do now with just nation-wise and more of just when it comes to financial status, when it comes to any place in your life. If you feel like you are not worthy of being a Christian, know that there is nothing that makes you unworthy of being a Christian. You are beautiful in the eyes of God. Even if you struggle with same-sex attraction, even if you struggle with seeing yourself as who you are, who God made you, as a male or as a female, if you struggle with body dysmorphia, all this stuff, you have just as much of a claim to Christianity. The only thing God asks of you is that you turn away from your life of sin. You turn away from that living a life of homosexuality. You turn away from a trans life. You turn away from that and you turn to Christ. He doesn't care if you are crippled, if you are this billionaire. He doesn't care who you are. Everyone is equal. When you enter a church, it should be beautiful because whether you are a super rich person or you are a homeless person, you should be able to enter the same church in the same beauty. If you're rich, you don't receive more of the Eucharist than a poor person. You all receive the same amount of Christ. The thing about the church emphasizes the equalness of everyone. Everyone is equal in God's eyes. Everyone has a different mission, but everyone is equal. You are not called to less holiness than a priest. You are not called to less holiness than a religious sister. You are called to the same amount of holiness. You have the ability to be just as strong as a saint, as Saint Paul. You are called to God's hand just like those other people. Everyone is welcome. All you have to do is be willing to lay down your burdens at the feet of Christ. That's all you have to do. That's what God is calling you to. And so if you have that struggle, and if there are people around you who are giving you the impression that you cannot be a Christian because you are not perfect, those people are wrong. You have the ability to be a Christian, but you have to be willing to lay down your burdens, just like everyone else. I have to be willing to lay down my burdens at the feet of Christ. You have to be willing to. That's all God asks of you, right? Turn back to him and turn away from sin. It doesn't matter, right? Slavery is not a thing anymore. That, for the most part, there are still slavery in some countries, but just the fact that even if you are a slave, you are still called to be in the same communion as a free person, right? Hopefully, none of you are slaves, but if you were, you would still be able to come to the Feast of the Lamb. There's nothing stopping that. All you have to do is be willing to give of yourself to do that. That's all God is asking of you. Yes, then you can go into more detail about these certain rules, these laws that God has called us to, the 10 Commandments, all this different stuff. But at the heart of what we're called to, just straightforward, turn to Christ. That's the key. Please come to church. Please come and pray with us at Mass. Catholic means universal. Universal. Everyone is invited. Please just join Christ's people. Become a Christian if you haven't yet. If you are a Christian, then grow deeper in your faith. You can always grow with Christ. It's something I've thought about before, but it's just really, as I'm reading the Acts of the Apostles, it reminded me again of God called the Gentiles. It's not just, oh yeah, he's calling everyone. He went out of his way to point out to these people over and over again in the Acts of the Apostles. Go out to those people. Do not just go to the people of Israel. Go out to everyone. I want everyone. There is no unclean. There are only my children. There's only one group. Again, God does not have grandchildren. He only has children. You are all a child of God, all equal. Whether you are white, whether you are black, whether you're Asian, whatever you are all equal in God's eyes. Amen to that.